This is Donna, and I am here with Sylissa, and we are going to talk about her books, and we're going to talk about some of the adventures in her own life and how they come over into her books. And we'll talk a little bit about the books and how they're full of adventure and a little bit of romance and a ton of mystery also. So tell us a little bit about how you came about writing and what made you decide mystery.
I've always been a big writer ever since being in grade school. Mysteries, I grew up reading Mary Stuart and Ellery Queen and Alfred Hitchcock, and I like how, so with the mysteries, I like how we can just innuendo and insinuations and just where I like the reader's own imagination to make them nervous.
Yeah.
I don't do the gore or the body parts and stuff like that. That's just not my thing, and I don't think it's necessary. So that's but mysteries, it's always what if. I grew up, what if? Yeah. That's what I do.
And I read that you had said your imagination can scare you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and I like to share that. And that it's, because, some of those Twilight Zone episodes, holy moly, I still have about 3 of them that still gives me the creeps. And it was just me scaring myself. He was genius at that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So tell us, what do you wish you would have told your younger writing self?
Don't take criticism personally.
Oh, that's good. Maybe you mean advice for current writers, maybe even too?
What would I have said to myself?
No.
Well, sure, and that too. I grew up so shy, which my friends refuse to believe now, and would take things personally, and I have learned, no. I've learned if you don't like it, that's fine. Go buy some, that's why there's others, that's why you have choices.
Yeah.
So, yes, I don't listen to criticism. And sometimes, is that because they want to help you or because they're jealous of you?
Yeah.
So, you just got to stay true to your heart.
Yeah, that is great. So tell us, because you'd wanted to be a writer for so long, are there things maybe expectations you had of a writing life, and did they turn out the way you thought?
Interesting. When I wrote my first book, my husband and I had our own business, and so when you're part of the owner, you're there whether you want to be or not. So, but I would take off every lunch hour and head down the hill. This was in Boise, Idaho, and head down the hill to Amorza Park, and I would write on a yellow notepad. I wrote my first book out by hand, and I did it every lunch hour, every single day, till it was done. So if you want to be a writer, then be a writer. If you want to be an author, you have to be a writer.
Yeah.
If you want to be a wannabe writer, then go for it and be that. But that's what you are.
Yeah.
Although journaling makes you a writer, poetry, of course, makes you a writer. So there's different ways to be a writer.
Yeah. To get it out. Still
to get it out.
Yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think your main characters would say about your personality? How did they describe you?
I think I could be girlfriends with all my female protagonists, and there's a couple of those gals that get a little snarky that maybe I wouldn't hang around with quite as much. And the guys, there are some very nice fellows in my stories too. Oh yes. So I would love to get to know them better.
So someone new to your writing, which book do you recommend?
Well, it depends on, if you're going to start with the cozy mysteries, I'd say start in order. Each one's an individual book, but every book you get to know the characters a little bit better. So I say start with Emerald Wiles. If you just want to read something fun, and then do A Mermaid's Tears. That's the standalone romantic suspense. So I kind of got started with the series by accident. And so I've been running with that, and I enjoy it very much. But I still like my standalone. I still have other characters.
Yeah.
So that's why I will be doing both.
So let's talk about that. So next year you plan on releasing another standalone and another series.
Yes, so book number 4 in the cozy series called Turquoise Tantrums, and then the standalone romantic suspense is Deadly Vows. And I'm very excited about that one. Totally different than the cozy mysteries.
Oh,
so
So is it hard to switch between the genres?
No, because the characters are different. The characters are different, the behavior is different, the situations are different.
Yeah, That
So.
makes sense, yeah. So is there anything you edited out of the book?
In pearls, oh my goodness. I use beta readers, as a lot of writers will. And so I had my beta readers read my book and say, okay, they have their list of questions that I want to answer. Does there any certain section that bumps you? Does it, make sense? Are you finding anybody with different colored eyes or hair or whatever? None of them liked my first chapter.
Wow.
It went from, I really don't think you need this, to, I hate that. Thank you, Mom. No. But, when you have several of them say something, you have to take another look at it. You just have to, because I'm looking at readers reading my words. So I did. I cut that whole first chapter, and what I did is I just kind of reshaped it, made it much shorter, and now it's just a prologue.
Oh.
And it works better.
Wow.
And I have to say, after the initial grumbling and being totally ticked off, it was the smart move to do.
Yeah.
So I listen to my beta readers, I really do.
More advice for authors. You're
Yes.
giving some great advice
Yes.
today.
Well, because in the end of it is that I get a chance to tell my story, but if I want my readers to fall in love with the story, I want them to fall in love with the characters. So yes, I want to do the very best I can, tell the best story.
So since we were talking about, because you've offered some great advice to authors, what would be some advice you wish you had known back then that you think maybe would have sped up the process or your writing or changed how you write?
Truly, it is to develop your discipline. I have several writer friends who were journalists at the time, and now they're writing, and I am in awe because they're used to sitting down and making deadlines, and they put that same attitude with their writing, and that is fabulous. I do not have the same discipline, but that's my work in progress. That is something that I am struggling on, but it is something that I will be getting better at it.
Yeah.
So
let's switch topics now. Like, I know you love to travel and you have adventures. So give us maybe an example of how some of your adventures in your personal life have ended up in a book.
oh my gosh. A Mermaid's Tears comes directly to mind, and that was one of the first books I had started working on, and that was, it takes place in Key Largo, Florida. Takes place there the week before a hurricane hits, and I think it's very fun. You got this big city girl coming to a very small town, and I will just say that all the shark scenes are true.
Wow.
I took all the things of being involved with sharks and everything from the diving trips that my husband and I had done in Key Largo, Bermuda, Bahamas, all of that area. So I put it all there.
Well, and sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, and people are like, that can't really happen, and we're like, it did
Oh
really
yes, it
happen.
did. Oh yes, it did, and yes, it can.
So do you do a lot of research in addition to your own travels and adventures? Do you have to do a lot of research even for the books?
I choose to do a lot of research. Really, I do. I just want to be as accurate as possible. I am not a historical mystery writer. I don't do the history thing. It's mostly as in what we are now. Although I am going to be working on a standalone that will be involving history, but that one is still just still being put together.
Okay.
So, but I love history anyway. So you can get too involved. I think writers have used it as an excuse. So I didn't get any writing done today. I had to do research. I had to sit there and read 5 books or do this or do that. Oh no, we didn't have to do it that much all at once.
Yeah.
But it was very fun too.
Wow.
So,
So it
yeah.
sounds like you may have several characters still in your head, more books to come.
Oh yes. And as I finish up Turquoise Tantrums gets a little bit more under control, there will be other voices that'll be knocking and saying, it's my turn, hurry up. So yes,
Tell my story.
voices in the head,
Yeah.
always tell my stories.
Wow. So I'd love to end the interview with tell the listener something you think they'd be surprised to know about you.
Wow, that they would be surprised to know about me. Well, it can't be the fact that I've always felt I was a landlocked mermaid, because I've been groaning and moaning about that for decades, and I now live in Hawaii, so I took care of that one. Oh, when my friends, the newer friends, more adult friends, find out that I used to be very shy. They just cannot comprehend that at all. So I think that would probably be the one thing is that they think I should.
So any advice for the shy girls out there?
Oh my, just to stay true to yourself, be bold. If you can't be bold on the outside, be bold on the inside and keep following through your dreams. Absolutely.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed having you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Donna.
guys.
Thanks.